Hi. I'm making a video at the end of the day, and it dawned on me that in some ways, I'll say something that's going to sound crazy to some people, but um, I don't have much to say because everything's perfect. Everything that we're passionate about, so I guess I have a bunch to say, so never mind the first part, but everything that we're passionate about changing, every single thing that we say, and when you step into your, well, even especially me when I'm saying it, when you step into your blah, 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 you experience this, we got to live in our heart. That's us saying, I need to do that. And I've been doing it. And when you finally are actually there, you're less insistent on getting everyone else to know that they have to do it. Because when you actually do the thing that you want to do, everything starts to feel more in alignment and more perfect. Everything's perfect. It's hard to believe, and it's not just, you might go, yeah, well, your circumstance is perfect, like our situation or my situation or whatever sucks. And so what I mean isn't that. I don't mean everything's perfect like my circumstances are good. I mean, there's a place in all of us where we can say everything's perfect, that we can't have light without dark. You can't have a sunny day without a rainy day. You can't have a high without a low. And the more you do the work, the more you start to step into the balance and the heart space of the highs and the lows together. And you start to understand that there's a purpose to everything, even though you don't understand what those purposes are. And when we finally get to a place where we own and truly believe, not in a denial way, not you're going everything's perfect because you're repressing something. I mean, from doing so much meditation, you start to realize that your resistance to everything outside of you is actually stuff that's inside of you. When you think someone should be different, you're saying you don't accept the way that they're being. That doesn't mean that you should hang out with someone who's crappy to you. But all of our pain is our judgment of something inside of ourselves. So if you think there shouldn't be something that's happening, if you think that someone should do something differently, that's a calling for you to really notice where it's coming from. Where is that coming from? That person shouldn't have done that to me. And then you close your eyes and you think of that person doing that to you. And then you notice another you that's fighting the thought that you created inside of yourself. You're inside of yourself. You have a thought, that person did that to me. Ugh, and then you get tense. Really, all that's happening is a thought that's coming up in you, and then you're fighting it. So everything that's happening outside is only actually happening inside, because it's inside where you process everything. Because the people in your life that exist in your life, really, they exist even when you come home and you don't see them. They exist inside of you. When you think of someone in your life, think of anyone in your life right now. Okay, now they're existing inside of your head. And you have inside of your head this thing that represents all those people, but it's not really them. It's their representative inside of you. And you could think of different people and have different feelings and different opinions and think different things. So you'll notice that there's places when you close your eyes and think of different people, some people make you tense, and some people make you feel loose, and some people make you feel free, and some people make you feel angry. And you're just creating a concept in your head and fighting it. And who's fighting it? Who's the person in you that's saying it should be different? It should be like what? What should other people be like? What should the world be like before you decide that you're going to be complete? What should everything be like before you decide that you're totally complete and you realize it'll never get to where you want it? You'll never get your circumstances exactly right and then be like, well, time to live. All my circumstances are this way. It'll never, ever, ever happen. to actually impact the world and help people and bring so much more impact, you got to go to a place inside of yourself where you feel all those things and let them stay in you. Let those things stay there. Let those feelings be there. Don't try to push them away. Don't try to fix them. Just let those feelings sit there. The world. Think of whatever you don't like. If you don't like a politician, if you don't like whatever, close your eyes and notice them coming up inside of you. And then notice that you feel this tension. Well, I promise you, if you stay with it and don't run from the tension and don't go get addicted and don't do something, you stay with that tension. And be okay with that it's there. Want that tension there. I don't mean try to create it. I just mean if it's there, allow it to be there. And then notice when it finally, there's going to be a point that's beyond your control where it finally releases itself, and that circumstance and that situation isn't fighting with your rules of how things should be. There's a little kid in you that's really loud as a grown-up, and that's the person who's deciding how everything should be. The circumstance and the way the person isn't bad. It's just triggering what you learned they should be, and it's triggering something in you that you think life should be that way. You think, who is the you that thought that? You learn that. Everything has to be a certain way. So everything in your life, your relationships, whatever, your job is to think about it. And if you get triggered by something, let it trigger you, because it's showing you something. It's showing you a rule that you had in you. And then don't change it. Let that thing sit there. Now, some people go, well, if you do that, then aren't you just being passive and letting people hurt each other and letting people... No. You're creating a new life. You're creating a new you. The part of you that's arguing with the world is stopping us from getting the you that is the world changer. The part of you that's mad about all the circumstances of what someone else did, that your ex is dating someone new, that someone did that thing to you, that you're broke, the part of you that's arguing with what is every day stopping you from accessing the real you that can access your gift and help people. Access your gift and help people with your gift, not with your stopping other things, not with your argument, not with your fighting, but access something and then give it to the world, because you'll become a superhero. You'll have powers, and people will want to know what you have. But the first thing is you got to access a part of you that you've never accessed before by being with the pain that comes up from your argument with what is in the world. And that's why it's not until your body emotionally understands that everything's perfect. It's when that happens and your body, not your mind denially in a denial way says everything's perfect. Your heart, your body says everything's perfect. When that happens, you'll know what to do next. It'll tell you what to do next. It'll run the show because everything's perfect. And if you don't believe me, you're going to be fighting what is and never accessing something beyond it. So let those things piss you off, make you sad, whatever, and then be with it. Don't try to change it. Just sit, close your eyes, and be pissed. Be sad. Cry. Don't lash outward. Feel inward. Become the space that's bigger than the perceived problem. And from that place, we're going to change the world.